Stadium for this Galway and Donegal clashing here today in Division 1A of the Lidl National Football League Round 3 encounter. Absolutely perfect day for Gaelic games. As you can see here, the pitch looking in wonderful condition, and indeed it's a game that certainly has plenty at stake. The winners will advance to the league semi-finals. For the losers, well, attention's will be turning towards championship at this stage. Big day as well for the two managers as they look to try and progress their teams through to the next round. Jerry Fahy, of course, is the manager of the Galway teams, and Maxie Curran is in charge of Donegal. That's Jerry Fahy, the Galway manager there. He is he has stated this has been an impressive display against Westmeath and Salthill last week, looking for a short trip up the road to Tuam here today, and he'll be hoping obviously that his team can advance to the league finals. Well, Maxie Curran is the manager of the Donegal team, but there's the Galway team that are lining out for this particular encounter. Big day indeed for Galway. Last week they scored 4 goals. Niamh Turrell got those goals for them the last day out. If you take a look at the Galway representation from the various clubs, Kildare and Clonberne are playing in a Connacht final in 13 days time. They've got 4 players in the starting 15 today as well. Plenty of other forward power in that Galway team, by no means a one-trick pony. So it's going to be a day where the Donegal defence are going to have to be on guard. Well, Donegal, they come into this game on top of the league table this afternoon. They have 2 wins from 2. Niamh McLaughlin scored a decisive penalty against Mayo last week. Geraldine McLaughlin missed that game due to an injury she picked up against Westmeath, but she's fit to start at corner forward today for Maxie Curran's team. That's a major boost for the Donegal ladies ahead of this particular match. And Maxie Curran, the manager, and there she's after just mentioning there the games against Westmeath and Mayo, looking for his ladies to dig deep today as they come up against a Galway team who are also coming into this game on the back of a great victory last weekend. The referee for this encounter is Gary Owen McMahon. He was the man in the middle for the 2018 All-Ireland Ladies Senior Final between Dublin and Cork. You may remember he was subsequently honoured in 2019 with an award at the National Referees Presentation Evening. He surprised the audience that evening by reciting a poem he had written for the occasion. So will he be waxing lyrically today? Well, time will tell. One man who'll definitely be waxing lyrically for us throughout the course of this broadcast is Frank Brown. Frank, a very good afternoon to you, the former Mayo ladies manager. You're very welcome along here to Tuam Stadium. We're really looking forward to what could be a cracking game here. It's got all the hallmarks of a championship encounter.
Yeah, absolutely, and I suppose the weather to go with that as well. We were out walking the pitch earlier on, John, and it's in absolutely immaculate condition out there, but then every pitch in the country is probably in immaculate condition. Nothing's been played on a lot of pitches, so it's really good. But I think we're going to see a really good game here. I suppose there's 2 questions for me, John. The question on Galway: are we seeing a Galway team in transition here? Are we seeing the Tracy Leonards, the Roisin Leonards, the Lucy Hannons, those older players? Are we seeing the Andrea Trails and the Kate Slevins come in to take that place? That's a question for only Jerry Fahy knows in his own head. And then we see with Donegal here, I suppose, always been knocking on the door. Maxie talks all the time. Maxie Curran talks all the time about breaking into that big 4, as he would call it, the Galway, Mayo, Cork and Dublin. And this is the way Maxie is setting that himself for a target. So an awful lot to play for here, John. I think we're going to see a very open, very fast game of football, and I suppose a lot as well will be casting an eye, and we'll keep an eye on it on the Twitter feed as well, what's happening in St. Lomans and Mullingar, which will have an impact on this too.
No doubt about it. We'll be keeping a very close eye indeed on what's happening and the meeting of Mayo and Westmeath. Really, with all due respect to Westmeath, you would expect Mayo to win that game, so we could be looking at a situation here. If Galway managed to win today, we could have teams level on the top with 6 points. We could have 3 teams with 6 points on top of the table, and that would make for very interesting going indeed. Remember, the top 2 qualify for the league semi-finals. Head-to-head would result if there was just 2 teams, but really when it comes to 3 teams or more involved, scoring averages is going to be absolutely crucial. So certainly everybody will be keeping a very close eye and ear to what's happening up in St. Lomans Park. That's going to be a huge game as well, and may have major consequences as the final destination of these teams for the league in 2020 comes head-to-head. So just to confirm, if 3 or more teams are level on league points, rankings are determined solely by points difference. That's what we have to remember. But of course, the victory here for Donegal would very much simplify things today, and that would put them through and would probably definitely end, you would feel, Galway's involvement in the league campaign for 2020. Remember, Galway defeated Westmeath last weekend 6-13 to 2-7. And also a victory for them a defeat for them in the opening round against Mayo. We'll pause now for the national anthem. Well, the camera shot will tell you there, little or no breeze really to report of. It's an absolutely summer-like day here in St. Charlotte Stadium in Tuam for the meeting of Galway and Donegal here in the Lidl-sponsored National Football League. Of course, a ground which has had capacities here of 26,000 in the past for Connacht finals, but the capacity nowadays 6,000, but still many people would refer to here as the spiritual home of Galway football. Well, we'll wait and see. Will it be enough maybe to tip the tie in Galway's favour this afternoon? Frank, there's so many potential match winners out there for the two teams. As I presume a good as place as any to start is with that of the full forward for Galway, Andrea Triel, 4 goals last weekend. How did Donegal stop her?
Yeah, you know, and she's such an exciting player, John. You know, she has Rolls-Royce jet engines in them boots. She's pace. She has an eye for goal. And what I love about her, every time she gets the ball, John, she's thinking, onion bag, onion bag, onion bag. How can I generate a goal chance? So I wouldn't be at all surprised if we saw Nicole McLaughlin kind of sitting back into a little bit of a holding role, certainly in front maybe for the first 10 or 15 minutes up to the first water break to see how that pans out, you know. But then also look at Geraldine McLaughlin, Karen Guthrie there, you know, the terrible twins there, you know, they're in a famous place here for twins here in the home of Galway football. I think these two as well are really going to take watching. Very interesting selection in Nicola Ward there at wing forward and Mairead Shoiga in the corner. Are we going to see just 4 people up front and Jerry pulling a few people back here just to maybe work on a little bit of a defensive game plan? But the big thing I think for the teams too, Jerry Fahey probably won't be too interested in winning a league. He'll like another game, a semi-final, another top class game to lead him into championship. Well, Maxie would probably like to get a league and a league title under his belt and drive on from that.
That's certainly going to be one of the key objectives for them. The two teams lining out as selected. No late changes. Conditions, as we described here, absolutely perfect in Tuam Stadium this afternoon. And it's going to be the Donegal ladies, as we look out here, will be playing from left to right in the opening half. An opportunity for Galway then. We'll be looking to try and get 2 more league points here, which would really put the cat among the pigeons in relation to the placings in this particular division. Donegal with 2 wins so far. Referee throws in the ball and away we go. Possession going to be absolutely vital. Olivia Diffley there will be one of the players who can make an awful lot of stuff happen for Galway. She's making a statement of intent early on. Gets the pass outside her there. Possibilities for Nicola Ward. Berrigan on goal. Decides to fist that one in and over the bar. Well, as you can see there, scarcely 16 seconds played and Nicola Ward has got the opening score in the game. Statement of intent from Galway, Frank.
Absolutely. You know, we were talking just before the game started. Would you see Nicola Ward going into a defensive role? Absolutely not. She got on the end of that move, done the right thing, tapped it over the bar to get the scoreboard moving.
Well, it's a great start for Galway. Donegal would want to settle down as quickly as they can, but they've given the ball away. Nicola Ward this time elects to kick it down into that forward line. Coming back at the end of the move is Kate Slevin here. Opportunity to her to make it 2 from 2, and that's in and over the bar. And Galway have got off to an electric start. 2 of the forwards, particularly attacking along that left flank, have caused problems early on, and it's Galway who lead by 2 points to no score, Frank.
Yeah, 2 points after 45 seconds here. It's a great start from Galway, but we're seeing their intent, you know, moving the ball fast, John, as we alluded to in our preamble there, moving the ball fast into the inside forwards.
Interesting use of the restarts from Donegal so far. They finally got the ball over there to Niamh Boyle on the far side of the field. They just have to be patient and try and settle down and feel their way into this particular encounter. Here's Noelle McLaughlin, the centre half back, bringing the ball forward over there on the far side of the field. Has that support available all the time. Once more, they'll be hoping that the likes of Niamh Boyle and Cohen, the forward line, can get in a good amount of possession here. The centre half forward is Niamh McLaughlin, penalty scorer from the last day out. Absolutely decisive score that in the game against Mayo. They won it by 111 to 11 points. Ball played down here to their forward line. They've won a free, which they're going to take quickly, and now that's got into the inside forward line. Donegal moving the ball well, and they've got their full forward in at the end of the move, and she's got the goal. Karen Guthrie, right place, right time. Brilliant Donegal move all the way up the field, and Karen Guthrie with one swing of the boot has wiped away that Galway advantage and put Donegal into the ascendancy.
Lovely finish from Karen Guthrie, John. Galway would be very disappointed. They went to sleep. They're expecting probably there Donegal to go for a point to get the ball, the score moving. Great goal from Donegal. Great game.
Niamh McLaughlin started all that off, and she was involved there again. Gets it to Blonnet McLaughlin. Donegal, a different looking team now. Niamh Hegarty running at the Galway rear guard. Opportunity here of playing in the diagonal ball, but well read by the Galway defence. However, they've given the ball away momentarily again, and it's the full forward once more. Karen Guthrie, who's in there and gets her first point of the game. She's now scored 1-1. So too have Donegal, and it's 2 points for Galway. And Frank Brown ground. This has been an electrifying start here in Tuam Stadium.
I'm just looking at my watch here, John. It's telling us 2 minutes and 32 seconds gone, and we've already had 2 points to a goal and a point. Karen Guthrie there is real torn aside. Cyril Lynch is just going to have to get tighter. She's giving her way too much space.
Great use of possession by Megan Glynn this time. Down towards Mairead Shoiga was her intended target there, but once again Donegal's defence now, after somewhat of a ropey start, have settled well down thanks to Nicole McLaughlin, who has been absolutely brilliant at centre half back for them. Well, Donegal will have taken huge confidence by the way they responded to the concession of those 2 early scores. Blondet McLaughlin again playing well along the flank. Out it comes here to the midfielder, Katie Heron. Gets the pass away once more, linking up inside there with Shelley Tohig, the midfielder. Again the ball breaks down and once more is back on the Galway team. So opportunities here now for them with Siobhan Diffley. Lovely pass over there to Megan Glynn, who's gone out to the far side of the field to gather this one. Looks up to see what options are available in the inside forward line. Does well to pick out Emma Reaney there, the wing forward. This is better from Galway now as they move it over towards the far side. Reaney there once again looks to come back in field here. Has the support off the shoulder, characteristic of this Galway team. That's a lovely diagonal ball that Nicola Ward was the intended target for. She's gone to ground. The Galway management team were half maybe contemplating a free there from the referee. Not coming. Happy for play to continue. 50-50 battle develops with that one, and it's gone the way of the Galway ladies, and opportunity for the medical teams to come on in the first break in play. Well, it's been fairly frantic the opening 4 minutes here. Plenty of scores, plenty of action, plenty of drama early on, Frank.
And just a minute now to catch our breath, John, because it's been absolutely hectic out there for the first 4 minutes of play. And in fairness, the pace of the game has been huge. You know, there's been no pulling back. The game hasn't even developed a pattern. It's just been all over the place. We can't even tell kind of people watching what we're seeing here. We're just so busy watching all the action going on in front of us.
It's play-by-play action at the minute. Thankfully, from a Galway perspective there, Charlotte Cooney from Clare Galway is back up on her feet and okay. One of the Donegal players just receiving treatment there as well. I think they're maybe signalling, Frank, that there might need to be a sub. Could be a blood sub, maybe.
Looks like maybe a blood there, all right. There maybe a little bit of a bloody nose. But I think the only pattern I can see developing so far, Donegal are trying to put a very high press on Galway and not let them get that running game going with their half back. That's about the only pattern so far, John.
Shelley Tokic, by the way, is the player who has gone off. They've brought in Teresa Jenkins there from Karen Dunna, Donegal. That's the blood sub that they've been forced to make early on. Meanwhile, there's going to be a free hit here for Galway in a very advantageous position, and an opportunity for them now to, well, get back a little bit closer here to Donegal. Remember, Galway led by 2 points to no score at this stage, but Donegal stormed back with a goal and a point from their full forward, Karen Guthrie, to put them into the ascendancy here. But there's an opportunity for the Tribes ladies with their own full forward now to get her opening score of the game. Andrea Trill, the player who got the opening, got the 4 goals last week, has got her opening score of the game here now, and Galway move up to 3 points. Important for them to get that score, Frank.
Yeah, very important for Andrea too, because I suppose the free taker always wants to get their first shot over the bar, you know, and a nice handy one.
Nicola Ward, sorry to cut across you, but Nicola Ward is in here. She's got the ball into Megan Glynn. Megan Glynn trying to play it soccer style. Goalkeeper forced into making a save there. Aoife McColgan, the Donegal goalkeeper, had to be in the right place at the right time to block that one out, and a let off there for the Donegal defence. It remains 1-1 to 3 points, just a point separating the teams here in a hugely enjoyable game in Tuam Stadium. Donegal with some defending to do. Anne-Marie Logue is back in her own half of the field now as Donegal confidently, Maxi Curran side, move ball from defence to attack. Evelyn McGinley wearing number 3. Outside her unmarked is Blahin McLaughlin. Instead, McGinley decides to go the other side, linking up in once more with the centre half forward there, Niamh McLaughlin, one of the players that they'll be hoping that can make so much happen for them this afternoon. Niamh Carr from the Milford club now. All about maintaining possession here for a couple of minutes or so for Donegal. Evelyn McGinley once more, the full-back, getting the licence to drift up the field a bit. It's an energy-sapping day here, so if he can maybe try and conserve some of that energy out of the field, it's going to be a huge advantage, particularly as we come into the latter stages of the game. Niamh Boyle setting up that attack for Donegal over there on the far side of the field. Comes back into Roisin Rogers. Donegal now with a lot of purpose and confidence in their play as they work the ball into Niamh McLaughlin now in a more advanced position this time. Got the pass off. Coming through there was Katie Heron, and she's gone to ground. The Glenfin player fouled on her way through, and that's a patient score and a well-worked move, or a patient free, which was won there by the Donegal team. Well-worked, moved the ball well from defence to attack, and eventually won the foul.
Yeah, absolutely. You just took the words out of my mouth there, John. They were very, very patient. Nobody was going to pull the trigger, and then, you know, Katie, very experienced player there. I wouldn't say she bought the free, but she knew if she was going to go down through the gap, drag a little free just to get the game, and Donegal will be happy just to get a score here, just to keep the scoreboard ticking over again.
Yeah, the conditions, well, we've talked about breeze. If anything, it might be slightly favouring Galway in the opening half just by going from the colours over the scoreboard that you can see in the background there of the camera shot. But there is a free coming in here now for the Donegal ladies that should increase their lead here in Tuam Stadium. The ball kicked in this time by the corner forward Geraldine McLaughlin, and she taps that one over the bar. The Terman player, the girl who's back in the team, picked up a dead leg in the opening round of the competition against Westmeath. Failed a late fitness test last weekend for the game against Mayo, but she's back with a vengeance today and got her opening score. She's a key player for them, Frank.
She's an absolutely key player for them. The more Andrea trill at this, and she'll be delighted to get her first free on the board, give her a little bit of confidence, kick it over the bar and get going. Siobhan Dively once again on the move here now for Galway. Looks to see what options are going to be available for her on the far side. Olivia Dively and herself linking up fairly well together. Good understanding there between those two players, as you would expect. Hannah Noon now coming forward, the wing back. Should remind you of Sean Oak, the player. Oh, there goes the shot, and it just goes out to the left and it goes out wide. What is it about wing backs that like to attack in those maroon jerseys, Frank? Absolutely, you know, Sean Oak, Declan Meehan, we've all seen him out on this ground here, but it absolutely just opened up like the Red Sea for there, John. She could have took it on another 10 yards. Yeah, that'll be worrying for Donegal. Just confirmation of that change that took place a little bit earlier on with the injury. It's been confirmed on the public address system here as we speak, but it's been a bright and eventful almost 9 minutes, opening 9 minutes to this hugely enjoyable game. Hopefully you're enjoying our coverage wherever you are logged in today. Niamh Hegarty once again with the possession there for Donegal, tries to get that one outside her. Galway's defence battling hard. The referee was signalling that there was advantage he was hoping to allocate to Galway, wasn't forthcoming, so he's brought it back and it's going to be a free. Megan Glenn, somewhat aimless ball inside there that Niamh Carr was more than grateful to intercept and pick up for Galway. Dodds Boyle once more, running once again at the Donegal defence over on the far side of the field, looking to cut in field here. Good patient possession here. She's moving right through. She might even fancy a goal here. Oh, some run. There's the shot. Has to be content with a point in the end. Well, time seemed to stand still there as McLaughlin ran right through the heart of the defence, took the point in the end, but for one reason or another there, Galway couldn't get anywhere near her. Yeah, you know, she sold more deliveries in the mother care shop there, actually going through on that, and she had goal on her mind though, John, you know, and lucky not to get a goal out of it. Yeah, has to be content with the point, no doubt about it. Goal was the intention. It's been a game that's been from end to end so far. Mairead Shoiga down into the forward line again, but good defensive play from Donegal here. The defence is certainly growing into the challenge this afternoon. Comes out to Blahin McLaughlin, again trying to use this near side of the field. The intended pass inside once more finds its target. It's a centre half back, Nicole McLaughlin. That diagonal ball easily cut out by Siobhan Dively, who's becoming more of a force as the game goes on. Again links up with Olivia Dively. Got two players free over on this side of the field. If she can pick them out, she can. Kate Sludden is one of them here. She's got into a more central role, offloads the ball outside her to the wing forward Emma Reach. Again trying to get something moving here. Route momentarily blocked. Galway's turn now to be patient. Can they work a score at the end of this move? Kicked in there dangerously, but it falls short for Mairead Shoiga, and the goalkeeper Aoife McColgan was there to pick it up and set another attack here in motion for Donegal. Galway will be disappointed that failed to go over the bar. Have to be putting those dead. And Mairead especially there, you know, Mairead a very experienced player there, you know. We saw the opposite there with Donegal in their last score. They worked it till they got the score. The shot really wasn't on from Mairead there. She should have worked it, been a bit more patient and worked into a more advantageous scoring position. Quick free taken here down towards Niamh McLaughlin. This time McLaughlin with the quick transfer inside to the full forward Karen Guthrie. Karen Guthrie's effort well blocked down. That's something that the Galway ladies were practicing before the game in the warm-up, just getting those blocks right, and certainly what they were doing in the warm-up, they've transferred it onto the field. Megan Glynn now looks to hit Donegal on the counter-attack. Glynn gets the fisted pass inside. Again the ball kicked in with plenty of distance in towards that forward line once more, where a number of Galway players there, including Kate Slevin, gets it over here to Nicola Ward. Nicola Ward bearing it on goal, takes her shot and takes her point. Second of the game. Two attacks from Nicola Ward there, two really good scores. Again, she had goal on her mind there, but a really good crossfield ball there from Liv Dively to find Nicola Ward down that side. Well, 1 goal and 3 points to 4 points the scoreline at the moment. It certainly has been a hugely eventful game thus far, and Amy Boyle, number 19, is in there for Donegal as well. So they've made the switch there. All hands now, all eyes I should say. Who's the player that's going to be coming off for a while? Is it the full forward that they're, no, it's number 18 is it? I think that's coming back off. That came in as the blood sub. It is, yes, number 18 been called ashore again. So those are the changes that Donegal have made there. 19 for 18 just to confirm that. But the ball has got in here again towards their full forward Guthrie, happy to lay
lay it off. This time they're in here again. Donegal, there could be a goal for them at the end of this move, and there it's finished into the back of the net. A well worked move from the Donegal team. They moved the ball quickly through the hands, and it was finished into the net, and a decisive goal, their second of the match, Frank.
Yeah, and we mentioned that earlier on. The Sarah Lynch is just going to have to get way tighter on Cara Guthrie. Almost a carbon copy of the first goal, worked it through the hands into a goal scoring position. Great finish. Karen Guthrie will finish those all day long, John.
Absolutely. She's been a player that's so much on song for Donegal, Karen Guthrie, and those couple of goals very much emphasising her importance to the team here. Donegal have stolen a significant march. Right now it's Galway's turn to respond. Andrea Trill, lovely skill there, a whole array of skills to get that ball away to Slevin. Back to Trill again, the full forward momentarily loses the ball, has it once more. Forced into calling in support for Mairead Shoiga. Shoiga moving in. Galway looking for an immediate response. Shoiga gets the shot, but it's gone wide.
I've seen just down to her right here off camera there, and Manus Bradnock is in there talking to his full back line, talking to Sarah Lynch, talking to Sarah Gormley. I'd say he's having a few harsh words there, and just got to get tighter on their plair.
They just haven't got to grips at all with the challenge of Karen Guthrie inside, have they?
Just haven't got the grips. And Karen has been around, very experienced, very good footballer, and a great combination with herself and Geraldine McLaughlin. Looking, every time the ball goes in, John, they're looking dangerous in there, aren't they?
Oh, that is for sure. Right now it's Olivia Diffley trying to bring this one forward. Galway need a score here to settle them down. It might come from Mairead Shoiga. Still Mairead Shoiga. She's had a couple of markers already that went narrowly wide. This time she's found the target. She sends it in and over the bar. Better for Mairead Shoiga. She's consistently troubling the Donegal defence in there, and her performance thus far deserved a score.
Yeah, and a really important score there. We always talk about it in coaching and management. The first score after a goal is the really important one. So in fairness to Galway, we've seen after both of the Donegal goals, they've came down and get a point just to settle the ship a little bit.
They're only 4 points down. Remember, a victory here for Donegal and a victory for Mayo in the other game against Westmeath would very much simplify matters in relation to who will be going forward to the league semi-finals. I think it's a certainty that Westmeath are probably going to be in the relegation playoff next week, and really all it was coming down to was whether Galway could win here today to complicate things. But at the moment it's Donegal who are very much in the ascendancy here, the Ulster side, and they could be looking at a huge weekend of action coming in. Latest on that other game, 1-4 to a point. We're hearing Mayo are leading against Westmeath, so that's looking good for Mayo, and indeed going along as planned. Right now Donegal coming on the attack here once more. Niamh Herity getting the ball back outside. There's a dangerous one in there. The full forward Guthrie has got it again, offloads the ball to the centre half forward Niamh McLaughlin, and she kicks it in and over the bar. There was another goal opportunity on there, you felt, for Donegal, but Niamh McLaughlin was happy to take the point.
Yeah, she's just, Karen Guthrie is a constant thorn in the side there. I think if I was down on the Donegal line here, certainly for the next quarter, I'd be looking at dropping a sweeper in just to hold what you have just for the next 15 minutes, John.
It's vital you feel that Galway can get through the next 10 minutes or so without the concession of a score. Here they come again, though. It's all out attack for them at this stage. Once more it's Sarah Gormley who had gone up the field here. Look at the space she's been afforded. Now offloads the ball outside her there towards Mairead Shoiga. Back in field it comes again. Still possibilities here for the Galway ladies if they can just try and work something here from Emma Reach. Looks as if she might have been over carrying that one. Referee allows play to continue, and Donegal can break and hit again at the counter. Anne-Marie Logue, they've been very, very effective on the counter, Donegal, right throughout the game. Here's Niamh Carr, the corner back from the Milford club, has that little bit of support outside her. Once more Donegal elect to play the ball patiently in field here. They'll be quite happy with the way this game has gone for them so far in terms of getting their scores, and Niamh Boyle now is the player at the end of this, and again they're running at the Galway defence, and again she's troubling them here. Niamh Boyle onto the right boot, shot comes in but goes wide.
And that's just, John just said, that's the first wide for Donegal, just as the referee there caused it. We'll go to the water break at this stage of the game. First wide from Donegal there. That's really, really good attacking, John, isn't it?
It's a brilliant stat. Frank, help us an opportunity now maybe to draw a breath for a few minutes and assess what we've witnessed here. 2 goals and 4 points to 5 points. You could say obviously the goals absolutely crucial. Equally crucial for Donegal has been the role of Karen Guthrie in them.
Karen Guthrie's been absolutely superb there. Every time the ball goes into her, John, she's looking dangerous. She's looking like she might be able to do something with it. The other thing, I suppose, the Donegal full back line, we were talking there before the game started about Andrea Trill, but in fairness, Evelyn McGinley there has been doing very well on her. We saw her coming out with 1 or 2 balls. Very comfortable ball player as well, John, and played the ball out of defence. Donegal just seems to have got up to speed with the Galway attack, and they're looking like they're lacking a little bit of ideas here, but every time we go to the other end, we say 1 wide, every every time the ball goes down. 2-4 after 15 minutes is great scoring.
You could maybe look at the Galway full backline and say that they are struggling inside, but further out an awful lot of the problems are developing when the Donegal half forward line win the ball. The game plan is simple. The head goes down, they run, they make those penetrating runs, and that's resulting in scoreable chances being created for the girls inside.
Now I suppose a worry for Maxie, you know, with a warm day like this, how long can you play that high intensity, high push game? But you know, they're getting the balls, the likes of Nicole, Katie Heron, Shelley Huig, they're running straight lines straight at the middle of the goal, drawing in the Galway players and creating an overlap, and every time they've done that they've got to score. So as I was saying maybe there, John, if I was Jerry Fahey, maybe I'd be considering certainly for the next to now till half time, just to hold so you don't kind of lose the game in the next quarter here. Maybe put in a sweeper, put the likes of a Nicola Ward back there. She's after getting 2 points on the front foot, I know, but a Nicola Ward there just to sit in front.
Let's keep an eye on the water break. We all know what happened between Roscommon and Down last week when there was a bizarre incident. I know an awful lot of people were saying that they've never seen anything like that before. It brought me back. I think it was 1987, wasn't it? Cork and Dublin in the league, when the Cork men's team wanted to get the train home, wouldn't play extra time. Referee threw in the ball, just the Dublin team in the field, and they went up and scored a goal. Oh, wasn't it down at the old canal end?
That's right, in the famous Barney Rock.
Barney Rock.
How many is the son Dean done since that in Croke Park and all that Hallowed turf? You know, but yeah, a bizarre one, wasn't it?
It was absolutely, but it just shows maybe the importance of the two teams emerging fairly quickly from the water break. Let's hope no such controversy here in Tuam Stadium this afternoon, but it's been an excellent game so far, and I suppose full credit as well must go to the referee, Frank. He's really allowed this one to continue, and the latest from the other game that we're keeping an eye on here as well, it's 1 goal and 4 points for Mayo, 2 points for Westmeath in the other game in this particular division, just to keep you updated on that particular match as well here live on the LGFA website this afternoon. All eyes now over to the goal to our right, as the kick out will come there from the Galway goalkeeper, Deborah Gore. That's it over towards this near side of the field, and Galway attacking here almost immediately with Laura Ahern. Opportunity here for her to get forward. Plays the ball in there towards the centre half forward, Megan Glynn, who finds the corner forward with it here, Kate Slevin. A tricky customer. She's been running at that Donegal rear guard all afternoon so far. Again, the shot just goes in. The goalkeeper was confident enough to let it go out. Eva McColgan there just to drop past the post and wide. Always good to see a goalkeeper playing with that confidence. Plenty of distribution, good distribution on the restarts today, but I might have just put the commentator's curse on this one because it goes straight out over the sideline.
Well, John, I don't think we should talk about goalkeepers anymore after that one. It was a straight kick into touch after that one, all right, John?
Absolutely. It wouldn't go astray at a rugby field. Right now, it's an opportunity here again for the Galway team. Katie Slevin again looking to capitalise on that piece of good fortune. Here's Olivia Diffley. Outsider it goes towards Mairead Shoiga. Just look at the way the Donegal defence are set up. Not easy to penetrate them. So Charlotte Cooney comes up to add an extra bit of support to the attack. Emma Reaney trying to work her way through there as well. Now it comes to the full forward, Andrea Trill, who they've managed to close off well all afternoon so far here, the Donegal defence. Trill has it again, cuts it back in field. Galway very much now looking to try and penetrated opening here. Siobhan Dively at the end of the move, happy to take the point. It was important for them that they got that score, and Siobhan Dively was patient, took her point well, and Galway now move up to 6 points. Donegal 2-4 and 4 between them.
Yeah, really important, as you said, John, that they were patient there. We didn't see that up to the first water break. They were taking shots when the shots weren't on, but they kept possession of the ball, kept working into position. As I said, Donegal are just sweeping right back in front of the D there, putting up their protective wall and leaving 3 up front.
Siobhan Dively, you know, the water breaks are a funny thing for taking momentum away from teams. Galway have definitely started the better of the two teams here in the second quarter. Megan Glynn back to Siobhan Dively once again, plays it down here towards Mairead Shoiga, the corner forward, taking on our marker here. Seems to be a ploy that Galway are using left and right. Shoiga here is going to kick this one right across the face of the goal. It's going to come out here on the near side. It was Katie Slevin who was over there. Mairead Shoiga was the intended target, in fact, inside, but at the end of all of that, it looks as if it's going to be another free, which is going to be awarded in here. And I don't think Donegal have got the ball past halfway since we've started off after the water break, Frank.
Very impressed with Katie Slevin, though. She's, as you said, John, there, she's a real thorn in the side. She's buzzing around there. She's getting on a lot of ball. She was unlucky not to have a point there about 2 minutes ago. Again, I think we'd expect Andrea Trill to kick this about 20 metres out, to tap this one over the bar.
You can almost chalk it down for a score for sure. Andrea Trill never misses those. Our player who has to be bang on confidence and bang in form after last weekend has tapped another one over the bar. It's so far so good for the home team here in the second quarter. Slowly eating into the lead that Donegal had built up. Is down now to 3 points at this stage, and Donegal are very much under the cosh of trying to get the ball out of their own defence, but something might work for them here. Niamh Boyle, who's one of the players over on the far side, that they've got to try and maybe get more into possession. Once again, they're moving the ball very close to the sideline there. Possibilities here for Donegal again. Blahin McLaughlin over there again, looking for something to develop at the end of this move here, but the Galway defence a little bit overzealous according to the referee there, and that's going to be a free. And I suppose it in many ways backs up the point that we're making during the water break here, is that when Donegal run at Galway, there's a tendency there, A, to create scores, or B, to get frees.
Yeah, Donegal were really struggling with that direct running of the Donegal players, and it's hard running, in fairness. You know, they're running straight lines. You know, Geraldine McLaughlin off the right peg will expect to score this, and Max, you'd be happy to get the score on the board just to get his side settled after the water break and rebuild the momentum.
Geraldine McLaughlin looking for a second of the game, taps that one in and over the bar. She was never going to make any mistake. We've got two hugely accomplished free takers going at either end of the ground here, and Galway have got that opening score for them in the second quarter, which is significant. Quick kick out finds Sarah Gormley, the Galway corner back here, but again Galway have over elaborated that one back here by Karen Guthrie. Once again the Donegal full forward, who's having a huge impact on the game so far. She's gone out deep this time. Good use of possession again, happy to spray it over there onto the far side of the field once more as Donegal come forward here with Niamh Boyle. The intended pass not really working out for them on that particular occasion. Sarah Lee Lynch, as she's known, the full back there to cut out the attack, and Galway now their turn to move it confidently through the hands, and it comes out to Sophie Healy, who's going to leave it here for Nicola Ward. Nicola Ward back to Megan Glenn. Good delivery on it again, down towards the full forward line, gathered inside here once more by the corner forward Mairead Choiga, who has switched across there to the far side, looking for support from Nicola Ward. Once again back it goes here to Katie Slevin. Katie Slevin wearing number 15. All avenues closed off by Donegal at the moment, so she comes back out to Emma Reaney. Always players off the shoulder waiting for it. One of them is Olivia Diffley, backs herself to shoot from distance, and why not when you've got that skill in your own and confidence in your own ability to take a point like that. One way of beating a blanket defence.
Beautiful kick, you know, she was just very slightly inside the 45 metre line there. Saw nothing was on, backed herself, kicked it straight over the black spot. Great score from Olivia Diffley.
It's something in ladies football, Frank, that has come on in leaps and bounds over the last number of years. Their ability of players to take long range scores.
Absolutely, yeah, the long range scores is, you know, but
here's Nicola Ward. Frank, let's keep an eye on this for a moment, see what they can do. She gets the pass outside of there. Andrea Trill went to ground, referee's whistle had sounded. I'm not sure what that's going to be for.
I think he's going to give a free there. He was saying that she was actually on the ground when she picked the ball up, and that's what she's given out free. But if that had worked out, she was straight through for a goal.
She was straight through.
Yeah. Paces after dropping a little bit in the game. That probably suits Galway a little bit, John.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. It might just play into their barrow a little bit, and really I suppose you can't fault the players there. It's an energy sapping day here in St. Charlotte's Stadium in Tuam, as Donegal now with Niamh McLaughlin going back deep. It's great to see the ability of these Donegal players to interchange between defence and attack. Maxie Curran really has them set up that way that very much is advantageous to a quick transition of possession. Comes here to Roisin Rogers, back to Niamh Carr, the cornerback from Milford, to Anne-Marie Logue from Glenfin. Anne-Marie Logue now with a good delivery, lovely ball for Annie forward, right into the chest it goes there, taken by Niamh and Hegarty once again trying to cut inside her marker, gives it back to Geraldine McLaughlin onto the left peg, and Geraldine McLaughlin nails another one in between the posts. Good score from her, but again it's all about the patience, all about the build up for Donegal as they're about to make a change there as well. Number 28 is coming in for them there, Katie Keeney. I think it's the player that is going to be coming in, plays her club football with Breda in County Down.
Lovely score there though from Geraldine McLaughlin off her left peg, you know, John. Really skillful player. Very hard for a cornerback to mark that situation, you know, left or right. Really good score.
Niamh Boyle, incidentally, is the player who has come off there for Donegal. Well, we can expect to see plenty of movement in the respective substitute benches this afternoon. Not to take an injury into consideration for a moment, but the telling warm conditions out there. A little bit of an injury now picked up by Siobhan Diffley on the hand as she went up to pick that one off, but she's back up on her feet. Thankfully, from a Galway perspective, she's a player that they'll want to see her getting some treatment, but definitely a player that's a huge cog in their wheel. Megan Glynn had come deep for that one again and offloads the ball outside her as Galway come at the attack here with Sophie Healy. The cornerback is getting a little bit more courageous as the game goes on, but that ball in the finish was neither a shot nor a pass and caused no real serious trouble to the Donegal defence.
It was probably a typical cornerback shot there, all right, John. Maybe, you know, in fairness,
rush of blood to the head.
Rush of blood to the head. Drop back to the corner fairly quickly.
Yeah, well, still it's always good to see cornerbacks attacking, and that's one thing that Sophie Healy has offered Galway as this game has gone on, an extra attack. And really, when you're playing up against a defence that's well set up, that's a huge option. Now Trill plays this one in quickly here towards the corner forward. Once more there's chances here for Katie Slevin. Gets the ball over on the far side of the field, has to come back in field here, look for that little bit of support. The shot eventually coming in from distance, dropping in out of the sunshine it goes, and the umpire's consultant signal that has gone in, and
looks like Mairead Shoiga, I think.
Shoiga, yeah, and
she took off the left peg.
Yeah, she took it really well. Good finish from her in the end.
Yeah, good finish. Breeze just slightly picking up here, you know. Maybe we're seeing it on the cameras there, you know. We can the scoreboard's over, the flag's over the scoreboard. Probably turn into a 2 or 3 point breeze at this stage.
Let's see what's going to happen here, because the referee has gone into chatting the two umpires there. 8 points to 2-6 is what's on the scoreboard at the moment here. Maybe there's a little bit of a chat about that last particular incident, whether it was a score or not.
He's heading for the flag.
He's heading for the white flag. Well, I wasn't sure. I'll be honest, it was a difficult one. I wasn't sure whether to call it or not. And in fairness to the referee, that's good refereeing, because he went into the two people in Tube Stadium who had the very best view of that and took their decision.
Yeah. But actually, I was watching Mairead Shoiga when she kicked it, and she seemed fairly confident that it went over. And normally the player's reaction is the best indication of the lot.
Megan Glynn back. It comes to Olivia Dively here, moving inside, opportunity for her. Just lost control of the ball at precisely the wrong moment. She's grounded now as the Donegal defence arrive. And they were emerging with the ball, but it is going to be a free out. And again, Aoife McColgan, the goalkeeper, is the player who is going to take it.
Olivia has become very influential since the water break. She's after scoring an excellent point herself, and a lot of the scores that have come through have went through Olivia's hands at some stage. She's been very, very influential since the water break, John. Yeah,
it's a nicely poised here. Just 3 points between the teams. 2 goals in 6 plays 9 were 28 minutes and 40 seconds, as you can see there, into the opening period of play. Game which has absolutely flown by so far. Emer Gallagher was the corner back there. Comes out here to Nicole McLaughlin. Donegal again with this familiar game style that we've become accustomed to, moving the ball. 2-8 to 4 points. Mayo leading against Westmeath is the latest scoreline coming in from the other game. So that will tell you that Mayo are definitely going to be moving on with 3 more points at the end of this. So it leaves down the challenge here to their neighbours from Connacht, and the challenge being taken up by Mairead Shoiga at the moment. Still Shoiga running at the Donegal defence. Gets it back onto the right boot, had to switch from the left side, and maybe not the favourite side with an effort like that.
No, you know what, she much prefers her left boot from the one she got before that, but Mairead is drifting much further out the pitch now. Andrea Trill has gone to corner forward, Mairead has gone to full forward. She's drifting out and getting on way more ball now. That's
a brilliant piece of play in the centre of the field there by Niamh McLaughlin. Her jersey was being pulled, but she's gone on with a clean pair of heels. Look at her go, Niamh McLaughlin, what a run. Offloads the ball outside her here. Donegal very much trying to burrow their way through, and the shot has ended up in the back of the net. It may well have been Geraldine McLaughlin, I think, was the player who finished it off. A goal made by Niamh McLaughlin, finished by Geraldine McLaughlin, and a decisive score for the Tyrconnell County.
Yeah, you know what, and we talked about it, that hard running down the middle again. Charlotte Cooney just didn't have the pace when Niamh McLaughlin put on the burners. Charlotte couldn't go to water for a good goal.
Niamh Hegarty now bringing it forward. Donegal with their tails up at the minute here after getting their 3rd goal of the game, and they're coming in looking for another one. Again, it's an opportunity for McLaughlin. This one is saved. Rebound comes back out. What's the referee going to award here? It's going to be a free out. Every time that the Donegal attack, get the ball and run at the goal with rear guards, there's alarm bells going off all over the place.
Absolutely. Every time that, you know, when Donegal go at that straight run, it looks like they're looking for goal all the time.
And again, the ball kicked inside. Some more work here for an under pressure Galway defence. Sarah Lynch back there dealing with it on this particular occasion. The Galway fullback, who in fairness hasn't been afforded any real protection in front of her here. So Galway have to start again. They have a little bit of a mountain to climb now at this stage. And 9 points to 3 goals and 6. Here they come on the attack. Mairead Shoiga probably needs a Galway goal here to really give it something to play for here going into the second half. It would set it up nicely, but the Donegal defence marking well. Whistle sounds, free out. Donegal getting on top in a number of individual battles.
Yeah, absolutely there. And I've been really, really impressed with Nicola McGinley there, a full back. She's just so comfortable, got out in front of her player there, got out in front of Katie Slevin, and Katie Slevin is no slouch now when it comes to pace. Really good full back plays. We see her carrying this ball out very comfortably, but as you said, John, every time Donegal put on the burners, it looks like there's a goal on. Niamh McLaughlin again here.
Yeah, and Donegal are working the ball right up to a comfortable position here. Niamh Hegarty again running into a more central role. That's gone in towards Karen Guthrie. Full forward has it here. She's always a threat. McLaughlin back towards Guthrie. Guthrie is in. Can she finish here with another score? She certainly can. Happy to take the point. Donegal keep the scoreboard ticking over and lead by 3-7-9.
Yeah, and it just brings us back to a point we made at the water break there. We spoke about why didn't Galway put in a sweeper just to get themselves to half time. You know, Nicola Ward, probably one of the best sweepers in the business. Don't know why did it sit her back and shore up that goal route.
It's something that they may live to regret, because Donegal are in here again, and there's another opportunity, and that's found its way into the back of the net as well. And this time the goal scorer is Geraldine McLaughlin again. Well, if she meant that, it was something special, and you know, something I wouldn't put it past her.
An absolutely great goal, you know. Now whether she meant it or not, we'll have to have a look at maybe on the action replay and we see that she mean it or not, but Galway well and truly rattled here now, and every decision going Donegal's way.
Oh,
that, you know,
it's goals in Tuam Stadium, but they're all going the way of Donegal. 4 goals and 7 for Donegal, 9 points for Galway at the moment, and this is going to take a huge comeback. Well, as the ball came in there, you know something, we're just looking at a replay here ourselves, and I think she went for it, and it was absolutely brilliant vision to spot the goalkeeper a step or two off the line. That was absolutely brilliant finishing, the only way you can describe it. Absolutely majestic goal for the Donegal team. This has been some performance on Maxie Curran's side here in the opening half. They've travelled all the way here to Tuam Stadium and they've laid down the gauntlet, and here they come again. Once more is Katie Heron, the midfielder, running through. This time there's another shot, and the umpire is going for the white flag, and Donegal stretch the lead out. It's been a 5-star performance from them so far.
Absolutely, and every Donegal's forward is on the score sheet at this stage of the game. You know, really just the last 5 minutes we just saw a blitz there, 2-2 without reply. Donegal brought that huge amount of energy to it. A lot of questions going to have to be answered in the Galway dressing room now at half time.
Well, Maxie Curran just going off there, you saw him in camera shot just a couple of moments ago. What he'll be saying to his team very much at half time would be more of the same here. They put in an absolutely brilliant performance. They've taken the goals so well. Galway will be disappointed about the concession of the goals, particularly the last two, because the game was well in the balance. They had it back to 3 points on a couple of occasions, but then Donegal struck for those 2 killer goals late on.
Yeah, as you said, just after the water break, it really became very influential. Galway got 2 scores in a row and looked like they were drifting back into the game then, but suddenly then Donegal found another gear with their straight running and started creating all kinds of problems for the Donegal defence. Maxie will be delighted with his performance they're going in now.
They've got so much right. Their transition from defence to attack, the way they get the ball, the player on possession, then they can really hurt Galway by running at them. And you know, the way they've taken some of the scores today, points and goals, have been absolutely brilliant. Just look at Karen Guthrie, look at Geraldine McLaughlin, look at the scores that these girls have got. It's a sign of a team that are really firing on all cylinders.
Absolutely, John. And also their movement, the movement of the full forward line off the ball there is absolutely first class. You know, it's one thing to say we're going to run players down the middle, but there has to be movement inside to create them goal chances. We're seeing Karen Guthrie, Geraldine McLaughlin, but yet we forget these girls have been playing 5, 6, 7 years together. They've almost telepathic movement. You know, the last goal, if we saw that in the Euro Championships next week, we'd be screaming about the top corner and how good a finish it was.
We'd be more than happy, Frank. I think we'll stick with the LGFA at the moment because it's producing much better quality than maybe any European Championships can produce. We've really enjoyed the opening half here. It's well, still you could maybe argue in the balance is a huge battle on Galway's hands, though, the home team to try and pull this one out of the fire. It's half time here in St. Jarlath Stadium in Tuam. Just to let you know what's happening elsewhere in this division: Mayo 2-11, Westmeath 4 points in the other game in Division 1A, and here it's Donegal who lead against Galway on a scoreline of 4-8 to 9 points. We'll have second half coverage coming up very shortly. And you're very welcome back to St. Charlotte's Stadium in Tuam, where it's half-time between Galway and Donegal in the LGFA Lidl National Football League. It's very much Donegal in the ascendancy here at the interval, leading by 4 goals and 8 points to 9 points. We are joined by Frank Brown on co-commentary for this particular match. Frank, 2 teams go through to the league semi-finals as we expected. Mayo are doing well against Westmeath, so it looks as if it's going to be Mayo and Donegal as things stand at the moment that will be progressing.
That's how it looks at the moment, and you know, like Donegal very much in the ascendancy. I suppose after the first water break we saw a little bit of a rebellion from Galway. Olivia Divley started putting her stamp on the game. They got a couple of points in a row, and then Donegal went back to their hard running game, John, and you know, at the moment just Galway just don't have any answer to that now. And I suppose without going on about it, we were saying, why aren't we putting a sweeper in there in front of them to protect her full back line? Poor Sarah Lynch there, Sarah Lynch, she has her hands full, but she's getting absolutely no support in front of her either, you know. So looking, it's a long way back from Galway. But then that being said, to have the quality and to have the talent to actually bring it back from this as well, you know, once they get the game going. The only thing I'd worry about, maybe a little bit of a warm day. Will Donegal be able to keep that hard running? As we were just talking off air there, a lot very busy schedule coming up from Donegal now over the next couple of weeks, provided to go through to a league semi-final, final, Ulster, all that kind of thing. So
Ulster and All Ireland and back to Ulster again. There's just so many games taking place for them. Well, as we mentioned here, 2 teams on the other side will be coming through. Of course, you've got Dublin and Cork on that side of it as well. Tipperary battling it out too. Waterford, perhaps one of the teams will be struggling a little bit for form going into the final round of games, but all will become clearer a little bit later on this evening. So the referee again in the middle of the field, getting ready to throw in the ball for the second half. So once more it could be a possession-based game was going to be so huge for the 2 teams, and they'll be hoping maybe that they get maybe I suppose from a Galway perspective that they get the first couple of scores here, Frank.
Yeah, just to get themselves back into the game and get a little bit of a foothold on the game here.
So it's going to be an early free here for the Galway team. Once again, it's going to be Olivia Divley as the player who takes it. Down again, goes to the forward line here. Well won inside by the full forward, Andrea Trill. Andrea Trill again trying to make her way forward, running left and right. If she can get some support outside her here, there could be possibilities. Galway need a goal right at the start of the second half, and that's been brilliantly saved when they brought out a sub there at the start of the second period of play. Number 28 there, Leanne Cohen from Corrafin had that shot, gets it back outside her here. Here's Trill, here's the full forward shot coming back in again and back into one of the arms of the Donegal players, and that is going to be, what's the referee going to award here? He's pointing it out. I think he's going to, is it a penalty for Galway or is it going to be a free in? It looks as if it's going to be a free in.
He's just making an awful lot of hand symbols out there, but I don't see a penalty symbol anyway. I think this is going to be a free in, but Maria Shogi to kick it over.
Yeah, Shogi is the player to take it. She can send it in and over the bar. Well, I think you worked in the aviation industry at one time. That was like a man landing a plane there and all the signals.
There was so many hand signals going on there. I don't know what he was really going to call, but we've seen Leanne Cohen in, not sure who Leanne Cohen, and also I see there number 26 Sarah Keneally from Dunmore has come on also.
Yeah, some of the changes made by the Galway team here at the start of the second half. Well, they've got the opening point, 4 goals and 8 to 10 points is the scoreline as it stands at the minute, but Donegal still here in a very convincing and comfortable position as they walk the ball over towards the far side of the field before bringing it into a more infield role once more. Donegal's running has been exceptional throughout the game. The use of possession has been brilliant. Now they've always seemed to have players at the end of the move, including the full forward Karen Guthrie, who time and time again has popped up to kick some serious scores in this game. And again, I suppose everything that's good about Donegal was very much summed up in that last move.
Yeah, absolutely, you know, and she just got her hands on the ball there, Karen. Lovely relaxed style straight over the black spot.
It's so difficult to mark her because she moves around so much from the full forward position out at the moment. Just looking at her there at the minute and wondering who's going to pick her up from Galway. How many players will pick her up? It's still only going to be one player, it seems. Possibilities here now for Kate Slevin offloading the ball outside her, and there's possibilities here again for Leanne Cohen wearing number 28. Again, the angle was a little bit acute, the shot going in and across the face of the goal and wide, but Leanne Cohen making an impact early on. All she needs now maybe a score or two just to settle her down on the board.
Yeah, Leanne, a really good footballer. She'd be probably disappointed she wasn't making the starting 15 right from the very get-go here, but you know, loads of talent, very skillful player.
Yeah, hugely skillful player player indeed, and certainly making a claim for a place in the championship at a later stage. Remember, these two teams will be meeting again in the championship. They're in the same group along with the Kingdom of Kerry, so that'll be interesting games. And I suppose when you look at a match like this and the victory, if it is going to be a victory for Donegal, would that be a big telling point or a telling talking point going into the game? Yeah,
putting down a marker as well for championship, putting down with a good win. But we're after seeing there, I suppose, finally kind of Galway have given into a little bit of convention, and after putting Nicola Ward, who was one of the best defenders in the game, back there to mark Geraldine McLaughlin. I suppose the question is the horse too far down the road when they're closing the stable door?
That's the danger of it. It could be heading back for Donegal at this stage, but in any case, let's see. There's still a long way to go. Galway will not want to give up here without a major fight, and again they've won some possession there. Again, it's kicked down towards their forward line. It's a much better start to the second half in any case for Galway. Megan Glenn, wearing number 11, loses out of the possession stakes there. Niamh Carr back to win it for Donegal, and now they switch it over towards the far side of the field. Once more they're going to try and run and penetrate the defence. Amy Boyle Carr, the number 19, you can see in shot there as well. Guthrie lays it back off outside her. Great play again here from the Donegal forward line, and again they're happy to take the score. The referee was giving them the benefit of the doubt. They used Guthrie as a target player inside on that particular occasion, worked the ball back out, and there was their number 13 Niamh Hegarty to finish it off and over the bar. And really at this stage, I suppose Donegal, they're a team that have got more than one option when it comes to an attack and ploys.
Yeah, absolutely, and I suppose there I make it 2-4 from play for Karen Guthrie there as well, which is a decent return for one half of football, John.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's a provider as well. There's no doubt about that. She's set up one or two scores that she hasn't taken herself. Leanne Cohen again has made a big impression for Galway since coming in at the start of the second half. Gets that one in towards Andrea Trell, the full forward, shoots some distance, but it goes out to the right and it goes out wide. Well, I suppose Karen Guthrie is having the impact that Donegal were hoping she'd be having maybe from the Galway full forward. She's been bottled up a little bit more maybe for their liking than they would have been hoping for.
Yeah, and the other thing I'd say that maybe the Galway management a little bit disappointed, I'd imagine, with the impact that Megan Glynn is having on the game here. Great athlete, great footballer. She's won a couple of kickouts, but that's all she's done so far in the game.
Look at that ball in from Niamh McLaughlin and how it sets up another attack here for Donegal, and coming on at the end of the move is Blahin McLaughlin. Gets the shot away and gets it in, and that's crept over the crossbar. The goalkeeper was right under it, but the speed of movement there, Niamh McLaughlin unlocked the pass. There was 2-3 players running off the shoulder there for Donegal, and I tell you something, that's hugely difficult to defend against.
Absolutely, and there was almost a sniff of a goal there as well. If Blood had put on the burners there could have been true for a goal chance as well.
Well, they've moved up to 4-11 now to 10 points. It's a 13-point leading margin here for Donegal at this stage. Really, Galway at this stage, you get the feeling, could be turning their attentions towards the forthcoming championship. They'll be operating in Division 1 again next season. Megan Glenn, the player that Frank just mentioned again, one of the players that Donegal have done so well to nullify to a large part their attacking powers in this particular game. Donegal have got so much confidence about them. Niamh McLaughlin is directing the orchestra. Out it goes there to Anne-Marie Logue. It's time to slow it down and survey what options is going to be in front of her here. McLaughlin has continued on at the run. McLaughlin injects a little bit of urgency with the quick pass inside, but really went into no man's land there, and that's it taken back here again by Galway. Their opportunity to counter-attack. What have Galway left in the tank here now? Or are they about to be steering down the barrel of a second defeat in this campaign? Katie Slevin might have something to say about it, trying to get it onto the left boot, tries to pick out a player free inside. It comes back eventually for Trell. She's got the head down. The number of Donegal players around her, they've really curtailed her so well, and frustration beginning to show a little bit now, but Mairead Shoiga has it. Shoiga moving in, brilliant goal for Mairead Shoiga. The move looked to be dead and gone, but Shoiga had the confidence, had the ability, and one of the goals of the match for Galway.
Yeah, one of the goals of the season, almost off the left peg there. She knew, in fairness, Mairead knew as team captain, I need a goal to get myself back on track and get the team back on track. Brilliant finish though, top corner again. Will
it be a catalyst? Well, it was a brilliant ball inside. The build-up play was absolutely magnificent there from Galway. From it, they've got another chance of a score here, and that has been kicked in and has been kicked wide. But just look at the ball as it worked out. We're wondering back about the goal. It looked as if it was dead and gone, but Shoiga somehow was able to, from an impossible angle, to cut in field and send an unstoppable left-footed shot into the corner of the net. I don't think he could have 3 goalkeepers in there, and they mightn't have saved that one, Frank.
Yeah, and we were talking about the Donegal goal just before half time there from Geraldine McLaughlin. did she mean it? No doubt Mairead Shoigan knew exactly what she was doing with that ball.
Oh, well, we've seen 5 cracking goals in the game so far. 4-11 to 1 goal and 10. We said it just before the interval. The game probably needed a goal for Galway to give them an impetus and something to fight for in the second half when they've got a goal right here at the start of it. But that might mean they could be a little bit vulnerable on the counter-attack, as Donegal have it here again with Niamh McLaughlin. McLaughlin has played so well for them today. Out here in the attack now is Anne-Marie Lowe getting the licence to come forward. Still running forward, happy to take on the Galway defence. Gets it onto the left boot, gets the shot away, and she's content to take the point. Well, a nice array of skills there, both right and left.
Really good score from her there. She bound her time, cut back onto her favourite left peg and straight over the black foot for a good score.
Wonderful score indeed, and the kick out has gone astray here, and Galway could be in more trouble. Donegal could be in here for another score, and that's been kicked in and been kicked over the bar. It was Geraldine McLaughlin this time, perhaps again an opportunity of a goal, but they've struck back immediately now with 2 points of the concession of the goal, really to, well, stamp out any panic.
And Geraldine, she's going to have nightmares about that one. You know, she was through and tapped it over the bar when the goal was wide open. Nearly easier to score a goal in that one.
Yeah, 4 goals and 13 to 1 goal and 10 at the moment. Donegal have taken points on a number of occasions today when there did seem to be goal chances on, but still very much in the ascendancy here at the moment. Niamh McLaughlin, she'd got to be a contender for man of the match in this particular game as well. Lovely fisted pass away, takes the return. Here's Niamh McLaughlin, she's on a cameo here, going forward, just runs out of space a little bit, gets it back there to Geraldine McLaughlin. Number 15 has it again back onto the right boot. Oh, she'll kick points like that all day long. A player that's bang on form.
Yeah, I make that 1-5 for Geraldine McLaughlin there. She's almost, when Geraldine is in that kind of form, she's just almost unmarkable. There's no doubt about it. But you hit the name, Niamh McLaughlin.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Her distribution, her use, where she pops up between defence and attack, she really is her performance there.
And her
today.
energy levels, John, we're seeing her back inside her own half, picking up ball and carrying it all the time.
Megan Glenn now on the attack here for Galway. Gets this one in towards Mairead Shoiga. Scored a wonder goal earlier in the second half. Mairead Shoiga running here at the cover. Still it's Mairead Shoiga. Donegal trying to stop her strong running over there. Katie Slevin has to come more back outfield now. Slevin still has it. Taking the return pass on here, and Galway have penetrated a little bit of an opening here again, and that's finished into the back of the net. Beautifully taken goal, much better from Galway on this particular occasion, and the player who finished it off was Megan Glenn. Well, full composure about the finish. She was coolness personified.
And a gorgeous finish, you know, just rolled it underneath the goalie for a really good score. And I suppose I was very kind of critical of Megan Glenn there a couple of minutes ago, but she's after stepping up there, getting on a couple of balls, and a really good finish.
The two number 11s absolutely having a major impact there over the last few minutes. Niamh McLaughlin on one end, and of course Megan Glenn at the other. Now a change for Donegal. Number 18 we see is coming in for them. Teresa Jenkins coming back in. Karen Dunner, she was on a little bit earlier on as a blood sub, so she's going to be introduced, and already maybe Maxie Curran and the Donegal management team might be just contemplating about that big backlog of fixtures. The number 4 has gone off for Donegal there, Emer Gallagher, so they're deciding to shuffle the pack a little bit here. A huge schedule of games coming up now. The league semi-final, if they win that, there's the league final, and of course the Ulster Championship being played as well, and then you've got the All-Ireland series, so games coming in thick and fast at this stage. Look at the persistence of McLaughlin in there once more, but Galway's defence are able to come away with it on this particular occasion. Hannah Noon wearing number 7 from Kilkerran Clonberne, mentioned at the very outset of the broadcast, they'll be playing St. Nathan's of Sligo in 13 days time in the Connacht Club final. Niamh Wirra will be involved in the junior final against Owen Rua on that particular day as well, and of course all 3 finals being played in Markovich Park, senior, junior and intermediate. The intermediate final will be a meeting of Glencar Manor Hamilton from Leitrim taking on Giva from Sligo, so some day of football in store in Markovich Park in just less than 2 weeks time. But here come Donegal once more, running forward here with Niamh Haggerty, the corner forward. Whistle again sounds from the referee. The free out is going to be for Galway, taken quickly back to Megan Glenn, goal scorer in the second half, linking up there with Mairead Shoiga. Back in it goes towards Diffley. It was Olivia Diffley, of course, finding the pass here to Mairead Shoiga again. Mairead Shoiga creating that little bit of space, wants to see what opportunities are going to develop for her here on either flank. Just has to hold up possession momentarily in towards Andrea Trill. As you can see there, Evelyn McGinley in close proximity is always the Donegal full back, and can you put it solely down to her, the way she's handled things there?
She's after doing a really good job there. I've been very impressed because I suppose we talked about Andrea having Rolls Royce engines in the boots and all that kind of thing, but Evelyn's after doing a really good job to snuff her out of this game.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful team performance all right across the field for Donegal, and even the subs that they're bringing in all contributing here. That's gone in again there towards an ever-present threat for them inside Karen Guthrie, and Karen Guthrie has gone down and has got injured and is holding her left knee, as you can see there as well.
To be hearts and mouths on the Donegal bench here if Karen, but she looks like she's getting up and okay. But as well, we have to give credit to Maxi too, though. He's really got his tactics absolutely perfect here, his work ethic from his team. You know, Andrea's been there, but Evelyn McGinley hasn't been exposed at all. There's always been another player to take some of the pressure off her.
Yeah, when you look at such a long distinctive record with Donegal, Maxi Kern. He's also the Guidor manager of the men's team in Donegal in the club championships this year as well. Then goes the free, go to them by McLaughlin, and in and over the bar, isn't it?
For any of the younger girls watching this game there, technically kicked through the ball. We always hear about put your laces through the ball, kept her head down, and a beautiful strike there.
Well, the LGFA Lidl National Football League finals, so Division 1 and 2 will be played in Croke Park on the 26th of June. They're also going to have supporters at that particular game. The league finals are one of the government-approved test events for spectators attending events, and it's going to be wonderful to have supporters back in attendance for that particular game. So we'll be wondering, will we maybe be seeing the likes of Donegal from this particular side contesting in that particular final? Again, the ball has gone in there towards the Donegal, or towards the Galway forward line, but they're getting very, very little change out of a tight barking Donegal defence. And look at the transition here from defence to attack. Ball played in here once more towards Niamh McLaughlin again, and she's having some game now. Comes to Hegarty, far side, gets it back towards the direction of McLaughlin, looks to try and slow it down again, has the head down, trying to penetrate a run through the defence of the whistle sounds from the referee, and again it's going to be another free.
Yeah, Gary Owen spotted a little tug there and he had the hand up for the advantage, and in fairness, I think in the men's game, I think we need to look at that whole advantage thing. I think it really, really adds to the game as a spectacle, John.
Without a shadow of a doubt, and we're certainly seeing the benefit of it here first class this afternoon. Karen Guthrie preparing to take the free. Donegal lost out to Dublin in last year's championship 210 to 213. They beat Waterford 2 goals and 13 points to 9. Of course, Galway were defeated by Cork in the All-Ireland semi-final 17 points to 13. As you can probably remember, the day when the game was moved from Parnell Park to Croke Park, and Guthrie takes the free, taps it in, taps it over the bar. Another score for Donegal. They're really keeping the scoreboard ticking over here.
Yeah, and I make that 2-5 for Karen Guthrie there now, so a really good. Shows the beauty of it, though. From this wing we have Geraldine McLaughlin off the right peg, on the far side Karen Guthrie off the left peg, and Galway making another couple of changes.
Another couple of,
Eilish Morrissey been running into the full forward line.
Yeah, number 27 Eilish Morrissey, as you've mentioned, they're coming in. Number 23 is coming on as well for Galway there.
Number 23, Avdar from Moycullen.
Yeah, from Moycullen. She's been brought in as well here, so it's an opportunity for both teams to bring in some fresh legs for the closing quarter of this game. 15 minutes gone in the second half. We've yet to have the second water break in this game, but really I suppose when you look at this game and look at how it's going elsewhere, 3-13 for Mayo, 5 points for Westmeath. At this particular moment in time, you'd make a fair and educated shot at predicting who's going to be playing in the league semi-finals.
Yeah, I don't think we need too much of a crystal ball to be looking into this one. I doubt if we'd get great odds on it at this stage of the game, John, even if we could jump onto back something or other there.
Yeah, I think it's a foregone conclusion.
Maybe we should go into punditry, John.
You never know. You never know. With predictions like that, we could do well. Leanne Cooney coming forward here. Possibilities for Galway now, very much playing for pride in the latter stages of this game. Again, they're just not getting any change at all out of the Donegal defence, who have really battened up the hatches here in the second half. Katie Caney, knowing number 28, playing well for them back in that defensive role, and now they're moving the ball quickly from defence to attack. Once more, Niamh Herity coming out here to gather it. Has that little bit of possession again, and a switch back in field there towards Nicole McLaughlin. Again, a player who has contributed in no small part to this performance this afternoon. Niamh Carr. Silkar gets the pass outside of Blahin McLaughlin. Donegal just seem to have so many options every time they have a player in possession there. Once more, Geraldine McLaughlin. They've got a whole array of players just waiting for possession to come into them in that forward line, of all eager to get scores. Out it comes to Niamh McLaughlin, now back in the team again. Somewhat of a hospital pass that might work out for Katie Heron in the end. And the midfielder, well, as cool and as calm and as confidently as you like, just taps the ball over the bar. Maximum accuracy, minimum fuss.
Cool as a breeze. I've been really impressed though. Kate Keeney came in after 10 minutes there, you know, and really is staking a claim for a starting place in Maxie's 15 for what's going to look like a league semi-final there. She's been full of energy, very solid in defence, good distributor of the ball. She's really putting a message down that she wants to get into the starting 15 for Donegal.
Oh, we've talked about Maxie Curran, the Donegal manager, previously involved in the men's setup and under 16 teams as well. 4th season in charge of the Donegal ladies, and as we mentioned, is managing Gweedore at club level as well. He was joint manager when he came in with Damien Delaney in his first year with the Donegal ladies, but he secured 3 Ulster titles at Donegal. And as you made a very valid point, Frank, I suppose the big challenge now is making an impact on a national stage. They've been top dogs in Ulster. They really now want, I suppose, to get into a league final, get into the latter stages of the All-Ireland Championship and maybe try and claim a title if they can.
Do you know, John, what I love about Maxie though, he's not, sometimes we hear all these cliches from managers, we're going to do this and we're going to try to do that. In fairness, Maxie is I want to get into the big 4 here, you know. I've been knocking on the door here with this Donegal team. There's undoubted talent, there's undoubted quality, and we need to make the step up. And he's been bold enough and brave enough to say that as well, in fairness to the man. And out of the performance that I'm seeing out there, from as good as a performance I've seen from Donegal in a long, long time.
They've laid down a marker as well
they
today.
Really have,
particularly with Galway and Kerry in this championship group.
Yeah, and we talked about that, John, there a few minutes ago, about how important is this in the overall scheme of championship. You know, sometimes when you're only bet by a point or two as a manager, you've enough to hang your coat on. But when you're getting a trimming like this, you're kind of saying, okay, do I need to perform major surgery a couple of weeks out from championship here, you know? But that being said, I think when Nicola Ward there's a natural back, I think that's the place for her there. I think that has to be looked at. Louise Ward will come back from injury too, to give it a little bit more solidity in the defence for Galway as well.
Well, you could make the argument for Jerry Fahy, the Galway ladies manager in his first year in charge. Part of Tim Rabbitt's management set up a good manager in his own right as well. Won a Sigerson Cup, a Division 2 Men's Allianz League title as well with Offaly, back with the faithful county in 2004, and indeed managed the men's Galway under-21 team to Connacht titles. So a very experienced manager, but he will have to take stock of a lot of what he has maybe witnessed unfold here in the 3 quarters of this particular match that we've witnessed here so far. Again, it's going to be Donegal now coming forward in search of more scores. Their number 28, Kate Keeney there, as you've mentioned, a player who has come in and made a big introduction for them. And another point for Donegal at this stage. They're really keeping the scoreboard ticking over.
Yeah, it looked like Niamh Hegarty there. I think they kicked that one over.
Yeah, 4-18. That's some score up, Frank, isn't it?
Great scoring.
4-18.
Great scoring. They'll be delighted with that. But then defensively, you'll be worried about conceding. But again, Maxie will be very critical. Say we've given away 2 goals and 10 points on a normal day, John. That'll be enough to win a game.
Well, it's always something that you can use in the next couple of team talks as well about what you've conceded. And I'm sure everybody will be keeping their feet on the ground in Donegal at this particular stage. Still a long way to go in the season thus far. Again, it's played forward here by the Galway attack in there towards Ailish Morrissey, one of the players that we're waiting to see would make an impact in there in the attack for them. Comes back out here towards Marini, has walked tirelessly over there on the far side of the field, close to that wing all afternoon. Leanne Cooney definitely making a little bit of an impact since been introduced here by the Galway ladies. The pass eventually switched over here now towards Charlotte Cooney, who's right up at the attack here, throwing caution to the wind. There's always going to be a matter of stick or twist for Galway. They're going to try and maybe go down with all guns blazing. Sarah Keneally gets that shot across the face of the goal once more. Andrea Trill inside, and she's gone down injured, and indeed she's won a free.
Yeah, Gary Owen signalling for a free in there. I thought it was a fair enough tangle, John, you know, but then Gary Owen has done a decent job though.
He has done an excellent job. Yeah.
This is the first time we've commented on him, so from a referee's point of view, that's always a pretty good thing.
Yeah, well, it seems that I suppose from a Donegal perspective, they'll be quite happy here to go through the league campaign with 3 victories. Can't ask for much more than that. The win against Mayo was one where they had to grind out last weekend. A penalty converted for them, obviously by Niamh McLaughlin, which was a decisive score in that particular game. This time it's an awful lot more comfortable for them against the other big team in senior championship in Connacht. That, of course, is Galway, the team that reached the All-Ireland semi-final and All-Ireland final just 2 years ago. They're looking to get some consolation scores. The ball kicked in there by Sarah Keneally once more, but again it's come back off the upright. And again, opportunities here for the Donegal team just to get matters going, and another change taking place, I suppose, on either team. There seems to be subs coming in. Number 25 been brought in now for Galway at this stage. Aoife Malloy
coming in. Just in that last passage you played, though, John, just look how Donegal, how hungry they were. You know, that the game is won. There's only 7 or 8 minutes left. You know, they're 14 points up, but there were 5 or 6 of them queuing up to get a block in there on Sarah.
Yeah, that just shows the hunger that Max O'Kern has instilled into this particular team, and they'll be certainly hoping to go well from there. Galway have taken off their full forward, by the way, Frank.
Yeah, Andrea's gone. She just didn't, and maybe they're a little bit concerned. She was in that last collision there. Maybe they're just kind of thinking maybe they're going to rest her out there now, maybe not pick up an injury there ahead of championship.
Back at the other end, some more defending for Donegal to do. We were just watching her. She was coming off the field there to make sure that she was moving okay. Seemed to be moving okay, but as a player like that, you're really in a game probably where the result is beyond question at this stage. Now you want to wrap up in cotton wool.
Yeah, you're not going to be taking any chances with a player of Andrea's quality there. You know, you'd be resting her out and hoping get her ready for championship now.
Well, it's all about competition for places in the Donegal team at the minute. Here comes Katie Heron, the midfielder from Glenfin, again making that run through the centre of the Galway defence, and they've got players popping up all over the place. Anne-Marie Logue is getting into the action now. She said, I want to score from the half-back line. We talked about attacking wing-backs from Galway. They've got them down in the Tyrconnell County as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and they're scoring at ease there now. But do you know what I love about Donegal too, John? And we touched on this earlier on when Livy Divley kicked their long range point. They're very relaxed. They're forward. They're happy enough.
They're not rushing the shot.
No, and they're happy enough to kick from 30, 35 metres. You know, that was maybe something that we criticised ladies football about, that players needed to work it in much closer, but the standard of foot passing and scoring from the foot has been excellent.
Aoife Thompson has come in as well now for Galway. They're really emptying the bench now at this stage here, but again, it's going to be a lot of defensive work for them doing. They've given away the ball. Look at that ball played inside there towards Karen Guthrie. Guthrie has it the full forward. The Galway defensive players converge on her now, but it might unlock the door for somebody else if they can work the ball back to Guthrie again. That's exactly what they've done here. But the shot just goes out.
Ball. Yeah, I think that's probably on your first or second wide of the day from Karen Guthrie there, but something we alluded to there. I think if I was Maxie there, I'd be kind of getting the Karen Guthries of this world now onto me bench at this stage of the game, giving a little bit of a rest for the bigger battles that lie ahead. She's such a focal point in that attack, isn't she? She's a real linchpin there. A little bit of a clash and a collision going in there involving the number 12 for Galway, Nicola Ward. So the Donegal player ending up on the ground there. Their corner forward, Geraldine McLaughlin. Seems to be okay, but Nicola Ward just letting her know that she was in town. And they'd know each other fairly well now, because they would have had a lot of running battles, Nicola Ward and Geraldine McLaughlin. Yeah, what's that to say about familiarity and content? But anyways, here's comes Donegal once more, and it's the corner forward, Geraldine McLaughlin this time. And really, I suppose sometimes that's the answer to that, John. That's the answer, just to put it over the bar, get the score. Taken over for a really good score. If we're being honest about it, Frank, the intensity has dropped now, hasn't it? Completely, yeah. Both managers are running out their bench. I suppose we've about 5 or 6 minutes left to go, and you know, it's just fizzling out at this stage of the game. 4-20 to 2-10 double scores. Yeah, it's a convincing scoreline indeed here for the Galway ladies, and they're on the attack once more as they try and Donegal ladies, convincing scoreline for them here. The Galway ladies on the attack right now. It's going to be Sophie Healy. Always good to see a cornerback lifting the charge like that, and she has set up the scoring opportunity here for the number 27, Eilish Morrissey, and that's gone again to the left of the post and it's gone wide. And another change taking place. Donegal are going to be bringing in their number 25 at this stage, and the Moville player Katie McLeenan is the player who is coming in. Good array of clubs represented on this Donegal setup as well. That's always a healthy sign of football in the country. Absolutely, yeah, they're thriving, they're pushing on, and also there as well, I suppose that hunger we're seeing in the Donegal. They're, you know, very competitive panel, very competitive to get onto your match day 26 for championship, as it will be, and your match day 15, so every player is pushing hard. One thing that I've noticed about Donegal today as well has been Aoife McColgan's restarts, the amount of times that she's been able to find players with those restarts. She's a pivotal player for them as well, both obviously as her presence as a goalkeeper, but the amount of possession that she's able to retain from restarts, I think, is something that can't be underestimated, and it eventually sets up scoring opportunities for the likes of Geraldine McLaughlin. But it's Deborah Gore, the goalkeeper at the other end, who had to come across to cut that one out. Nicola Ward wearing 12, but playing in that defensive role for the second half, as Frank alluded to. We've now ticked into the 26th minute here. It's been a real shootout at the OK Corral. 4 goals and 20 to 2 goals and 10, 4 and 2, 6 and 6:30. The combined scores of these two teams here this afternoon. It's well, certainly plenty of scores for those who are watching at home. I was just going to comment there, Aoife McColgan, you say her restart, she only had one bad bad restart, John, and that was the commentator's curse you gave her in the first half.
That's it. Apart from that, everything else has been absolutely first class. Donegal once again with Hergerty moving the ball forward. Here's Niamh McLaughlin. Good fast delivery down there, always an inviting ball for a forward to run on to. Megan Ryan from Milford, one of the Donegal players on the field at the moment. We've got a Megan Glynn and Megan Ryan playing in this particular encounter on either sides now at the moment, but it's all about Donegal, and look at the way they're able to carve out the openings here, always trying to work the best player in possession at the end of the move. Niamh McLaughlin looking to take the shot. It might come from Karen Guthrie. Beautiful outside of the boot flick towards Niamh Carr. Back once again, here it goes to Karen Guthrie. Running onto it here now is the number 19, Amy Boyle-Carr. And McLaughlin again, end of the move, cool as you like, sends in the shot and sends it over the bar.
Yeah. Actually, they've been very good with the ball there. I think, I didn't keep a tally on the wides for Donegal there, but I'd imagine they're only on maybe 4 or 5 wides.
You'd be safe to say they've been economical. Hugely economical.
Yeah, that's a very good word, John.
Yeah, hugely economical. Indeed they have. They've been absolutely excellent on the game thus far. So, all eyes again on the restart here from the kick-out. In fairness, it's been a difficult day for the Galway goalkeeper there, Deborah Gore, but she's kept going right throughout. 4:21 her team have conceded here to 2 goals and 10. But still Galway not giving up in this particular encounter, which is always good to see. Ellen Power now bringing the ball forward. They're working it in confidently through the hands here. Aisling Donnelly. Players here from a Galway perspective will be eager maybe to try and get a starting place come championship, maybe give the management team something to think about. Inevitably there'll be a lot of analysis, particularly after the way that this game has panned out for them here, but no doubt about it, Donegal will have so many players playing for places. Noelle McLaughlin has been key in the centre. Niamh McLaughlin, the way that Donegal have set up, they're strong in so many central roles, Frank. That's been very evident here today. McLaughlin again, down here to the forward division it goes. Quick layoff. And the shot coming in, but being well blocked down on this occasion. Good defensive play back there. Maybe to Sarah Lynch who got the block in the end. But just to pick up on that point, Donegal, the way the team are strategically placed, all strong players right up through the centre, right down the spine of the team. Yep. And you've got all good ball players in those positions.
All good ball players, all good ball carriers, absolutely. And I know tomorrow the whole punditry is going to be all about how good Karen Guthrie and how good Geraldine McLaughlin and the scores. But to me, Niamh McLaughlin has been absolutely crucial in the whole game here today.
Number 29 for 14, just watching the Donegal full forward coming off here, Karen Guthrie.
Yeah, she's dragging that left leg a little bit.
29 I think is the player. Yeah, 29 is the player who has come on for her. Well, and one thing about her, she's put in some shifts, so it could be fatigueness there as well, but obviously they'll be hoping that it's not any type of a serious injury for Karen Guthrie. She's been a real focal point in the attack for them all throughout the course of the afternoon, but Galway now have a chance to add on some late scores here themselves. Ball played down towards Ellen Power. That's the fisted pass outside her there. Lots of support play up. Aoife Malloy will be one of the intended targets in the inside forward line if they can get it in towards her. Here's Aoife Thompson. She's wearing number 29. Quick transfer back towards Olivia Diffley, who had started so well, and now can Galway finish here with a flourish. That ball has been kicked in there by their number 28, kicked in and kicked over the bar, and they've managed to get a late score here. Leanne Cohen, one of the players there who, as we mentioned, has come in and made an impact, and another change taking place as well here for Galway late on. Number 20, Aisling Donnelly, being brought in here right at the very death of the game.
Looks like we've almost two completely new teams at this stage of the game, but I was just having a little look there. The physio was having a good chat with Karen Guthrie just down underneath us here at the moment, just off camera, alright, so that would be a concern, John.
That's one of the things that Donegal will be hoping, that she's going to be okay. Niamh McLaughlin, another one of the players there, and Geraldine McLaughlin, along with their full forward Karen Guthrie, are absolutely key and focal figures in that Donegal attack. Right now it's Galway who are looking to play for pride with Aoife Thompson right in the closing stages of this game, but well cut out and well marshalled back there again by the Donegal number 28, a player that we've picked out a couple of times, Frank, for particular mentions. Katie has really done a wonderful job after coming in there.
She's after doing a really good job and really a stake to claim right from the 10 minute on.
4-17 to 6 points by the way is the leading margin for Mayo against Westmeath, so it's very much going to be Well, consolidated here, the positions of Donegal and Mayo. They will be the two teams who will be advancing into the league semi-finals. Galway will be staying in Division 1 but won't have any further involvement in the league competition for this year. Westmeath will have a playoff where they'll be playing possibly Waterford to stay in Division 1 for next season. The losers of that will make the drop down. One team being relegated from the top flight this year, and of course there'll be a lot of interest in that game. Always difficult for teams that have lost a few rounds in the regulation leagues, Frank, to try and get stop the rock for a playoff.
Yeah, and the other thing there, and this is going to be a particular challenge for Jerry Fahey and his management team. After taking a bit of a trimming like this, you've only a couple of weeks to get ready for championship, to go away and repair the damage and kind of build a bit of confidence and a bit of momentum as well.
That's it, and it's going to be even difficult to secure challenge games as well, obviously, with all that's taking place in the COVID regulations and the condensed nature of the competition at this stage. Into injury time at the end of the second half, and Donegal still no let up as Geraldine McLaughlin again has this latest shot, but it just tails out to the right and wide, and the referee has witnessed enough and blows the full-time whistle. So Frank Brown, give me your assessment of that. A convincing victory, 421 to 211 the scoreboard will tell us, for Donegal this afternoon. They got goals at key moments. They had I suppose some wonderful players that very much shone today when they got the opportunity.
Yeah, you know, and as we were just saying, they're coming towards the end of the game. I think Karen Guthrie with 2-6 or 2-7 and Geraldine McLaughlin with 1-7 or 1-8 are going to get a lot of the pundits. But to me, actually, one of the real heart and souls today was Niamh McLaughlin at number 11. You had said it in your commentary, she was conducting the orchestra, and she was tireless, she was a dynamo, she was up and down the pitch, and she was creating a huge amount of space, a huge amount of enthusiasm, and a huge amount of energy there. Galway are going to have to go away a little bit, I think, back to the drawing board here. I think this wouldn't be, as we said, this late in the league, moving into the business end, you don't want to be shipping defeats like that. One thing to be bet by a couple of points in a tight game, you have something to hang your coat on, but this is a little bit more difficult. But Maxie will be absolutely delighted as he head back up the N17 this evening now and back to Donegal. He'll be delighted. It's not just that he had an excellent performance, he's another game and another couple of games to look forward to as he prepares for championship.
He sure has, and they certainly have hit form going into that, going through the entire league campaign completely undefeated. They will go into the league semi-finals with plenty of confidence. The Ulster Championship and All-Ireland Series still to come, as you mentioned, for Galway. Fears that maybe some of the players could be in transition, but maybe a hangover there to a certain degree from the events of the All-Ireland semi-final last year.
Yeah, I think so, and I'm just looking down here, you know, we were commenting on Karen Guthrie. I just see she has a little bit of kind of strapping on her left ankle there at the moment, or a nice pack tied onto it there, so hopefully maybe it's just a knock maybe or something like that, because she's crucial. She is absolutely crucial to Donegal's plan. But Donegal really put down a strong marker here about their intentions both for this league and for the upcoming championship as well, John. Yeah,
you can just see Karen Guthrie there she's in camera shot with the ice pack on her left ankle. She was a huge player for them this afternoon, and you can just see what she means to the team. She's going around there individually congratulating other players, encouraging them on, and really Donegal will take so much from that, but they'll want players like her on the field.
It's a huge sign of the spirit within the group there, actually, you know, that they really are, you know, they were obviously very kind of built up for this game, you know, very much looking at it, and they've really enjoyed this, just as we see Maxie there telling them that. I'd say he's saying, look, we've won nothing at this stage. That's probably what Maxie is coming out with. You know, a really good performance. We've done really well. We've beaten a good Galway team, but from here on we need to decide what else we want to do, and he'll be calling them back to arms and training probably next Tuesday night to drive on even harder.
No doubt about it. Donegal march on. Galway will be turning their attentions towards the championship at this stage. Well, Frank, and we thank you for all your help and analysis here this afternoon. Frank Brown, our co-commentator. The rest of our team here was James Conlon on camera this afternoon, and Rory O'Brien produced, sitting just off my left shoulder here, our full streaming team. We've thoroughly enjoyed this game. There's Rory's hand, the hand of God, many people could describe it, but what we can say is that this game has been won here by Donegal. They march forward to the league semi-finals. For Galway, well, preparations very much at this stage now turn to the championship. We've enjoyed it. It's been a wonderful advertisement for the Ladies National Football League, and it's Donegal who take the 3 points in offer and consolidate their position at the top of the table. Mayo will join them in the semi-finals. As we mentioned, Galway now must turn their attentions towards championship. From St. Jarlath Stadium in Tuam, from all of us here, a very good afternoon and enjoy the bank holiday weekend.